Do you see, because I think one of the real roads, maybe it's a 0.1% chance, maybe it's a 70% chance. What do you think the odds that we are already in some sort of Roman Empire like decline? Meaning already in it, in that it will happen in the next 10 to 15 years?
Um, I don't know if we're there. I'm not in the doom and gloom yet. Why? Because the great thing about capitalism is what? Here's the best thing about capitalism. Capitalism prevents you from doing stupid things because it's going to hurt your capital. Okay. When I recruited salespeople over the years, I gave score. There's a scoring system in this book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, on who you can have your running mates. 15 qualities for running mates, and you score them based on 6 different qualities. Okay. I would look at guys and I would say, which one of the people I work with is going to give me the least amount of headaches? And here's what I learned. Okay. Extremely good looking guys and girls, single in their 20s, gave me the biggest headaches. Why? Because everybody wanted to be with them and testosterone levels high at that level. And guess what? They're going to fool around. You may be high 1 month and kill it. Next month, you're dating 3 girls in the office. And one of my best girls who made a lot of money last year, you just broke her heart. You left her for another girl. She can no longer come to the office because she's embarrassed and she left us to another company. So do that for about 3 years and then go see 17 therapists who have no clue what sales is like. Then you're going to realize I have to change my approach. Then I'm sitting there and saying, man, that guy over there is so boring. Dude, he is so boring. Nothing's exciting about him. But he went from making $500 a month selling insurance to $1,000 a month 3 months later, to making $2,000 a month 3 months later, to making $4,000 a month a year later. Then he's making $6,000 a month 6 months later. Then a year later, he's making $8,000 a month. Then 3.5 years later, he's making $18,000 a month steady. Man, there's nothing about you that inspires me. But you know what? Here's what I learned. He was married and he had kids. So what's the point? He has to make it work. He has to make it work because he has to protect those 2 kids that he has. He has a mortgage. He has to make it work. He can't go screw around. He's married. The likelihood of him going and clubbing and partying with all the other single people and smoking and doing ecstasy is lower. So I realized I have to invest my time in people who are the most bankable long term. Stable home, stable relationship, more things to live for, more things to work hard for, more things that'll prevent you from making stupid decisions. Perfect. Now bring that into the Roman Empire falling, all this other stuff. Okay. Jamie Dimon's not going to want to screw up what he's doing. And his legacy is going to matter to him because there's no way in the world he's going to let Sandy Weil be able to say, I told you guys that guy failed, he was a nobody. He's not going to let that happen. And he's running the most, company that every day $7 trillion they see come in and out. JP Morgan Chase, right? Apple, Amazon, Gates, Microsoft, these guys have assets. Are they going to let something crazy happen to it? I don't know. Musk, who is standing up against the establishment, he's not okay with what the establishment's trying to do. And with social media, a lot of this bullshit's being exposed, whether it's talking about ESG and what BlackRock and they're trying to do, or Open Society Foundation, or these DEI scores, CEI scores, which California is famous for. They're getting exposed, right? And people are talking about it. So social media is allowing us to hold people accountable. I don't know if you saw what just happened right now this week with Supreme Court having a discussion to say social media companies cannot take anything off their websites.
Whoa.
This week. So censorship at the highest level. You don't have the right to take anything down. People can post whatever they want. That's crazy if we go that direction.
Was that a preliminary
Preliminary.
judgment?
It's not done yet. No, it's fully preliminary. You got to look into it, yes. So
you got my attention.
So because Supreme Court is now what, 5-4, right? So Now it's kind of like they can impose and kind of push the envelope there. Okay. And they can protect sanity in America with some of the ways that businesses have been bullying people during COVID. COVID, what it did do, which was great, it was so awesome in one area. You know what it was? What's that quote? Absolute power, reveals what this person's driven by, right? And Lincoln said, if you want to test someone's character, give them power and see what they do. Guess what? During COVID, who did we give power to? Fauci, CDC, California, New York, governors of some states had a little too much power. They were like emperors pretty much, Hey, if somebody in LA, you see them without wearing a mask, text this word and we'll find them and da-da-da-da-da. What are you talking about? You're paying people in LA to snitch on other people? It's a part-time job. What do you do for a living? I snitch. I make $6,000 a month. Really? Yeah. What an incredible way of making money. So during COVID, if we're not oblivious and not naive, we realize what the people of power really wanted to do. And we saw that in Europe. Everybody's walking around with their COVID passport, and they're kind of doing this kind of stuff. So to me, it was fantastic to really see them show their cards. Oh, this is what you're trying to do to America. We're not going to let that happen. What did that do? It got guys like Rogan to flip. I'm no longer on your side. You got guys like Elon Musk. Oh, so you were full of shit the entire time. I thought you were trying to do something good. Got it. I'm not part of your camp. I'm going to go by Twitter. Scott Galloway. This guy's full of shit. Professor Galloway, there's no way in the world he's going to buy. He's bluffing all of you. He's fooling all of you. There's no way he's going to buy Twitter. Elon Musk bought 100% of Twitter. And now Scott Galloway on Bill Maher last week with Andrew Cuomo saying, we need to show some grace. We were wrong during COVID. Wow. I'm sorry, Professor Galloway. Did you show grace? Did you show grace? Oh, now you want grace, but you never gave everybody grace. And you're this professor from New York who's had exits of a couple companies and you've not taken salary from UC Berkeley. Respect to you. You simply go and do the work. I've seen the money you've given to Berkeley, $3.5, $4 million. But you didn't have any grace. You didn't show people grace, so what happened now? But it was beautiful. You saw what universities were doing. Harvard got exposed during COVID. No more campus. You guys got to go home. Okay, so does that mean the annual tuition is still $60,000 or is discounted to $20,000? No, still $60,000. What? For what? You're not giving me food. You're not giving me a place to stay. You still want me to pay $60,000? Yes, we do. Bingo, you just showed your true colors. Beautiful. That was fantastic. Hey, we want you guys to go and work from home. Really? Yes. All right, shit. So I'm living in New York. I'm working for XYZ company. They're paying me $250,000 a year. I can't live normal life in New York. I'll go live in Florida, work from home. Except now I'm not paying the taxes. Oh, no. We don't want you to work from home. Why now? I can work from home from Florida. No, we want you to come back to New York now. Got it. So you screwed up the policies, but now I'm in Florida. I'm not coming back to New York because I actually love Florida. And I'm stuck here. And people from California went and worked from home in Texas, and now they're saving at 13%. Now they're not coming back. So they were like, oh, people are going to come back. They never came back. Right. The people never came back. So this empire is falling. The great equalizer, Tom, is social media. If social media sticks around and they can't silence people from sharing their thoughts and opinions, I'm not talking about people getting up there and saying, we should go do this. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, hey, what about this? And we start questioning things. Then the people of power that reveal their cards, not everybody, but the establishment that wants to control more of the people, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that, bro. What do you do if you're playing poker with somebody, okay, and you're going for the river, and you didn't hit, whatever, pick something. You didn't hit your 3 of a kind, okay? You missed the river, but you got 2 pair. It's a jack. You got a jack on the board. All of a sudden, you're about to bluff the guy, maybe go in 50% of what the chip is, there. But one card accidentally falls on the ground and you see it. It's an ace. And there's an ace on the... What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You already know you lost. So guess what? The establishment revealed their cards. And we saw it. And if we don't realize it and do something with it, and they still move their agenda, it was our fault all along. But if we saw it and we unify and we come together saying, hey guys, we the people have the power. They ain't going to push us around. We love this country. Let's fight for what makes this country great. Let's go and support what this country was great about. Let's bring it back to that. Let's be a little bit more responsible. Let's have better incentive programs. Let's expect better policies from them. Let's hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do. Now we can go in the better direction. And we encourage certain people to run and get involved in politics and office. So I don't think it's going to happen because I think on one end, capitalists, the rich people are not going to want to lose all their money. So they're eventually going to be like, yeah, I don't support what you're doing, Soros. Yeah, I don't support what you're doing. Yeah, Charlie Munger said something very interesting. He says, look, I love Larry Fink, but I don't want him as my emperor. What a thing to say. Munger, here's a guy that's 94 years old. I don't know how old he is, but mid-90s. He's saying, hey, I respect Larry Fink, but I don't want him as an emperor. Because they know what Larry Fink's trying to do. People are not dummies, right? So those types of people, I think, are going to fight each other enough. And if we keep our eyes open, this will continue to be the greatest country in the world and hopefully even better if we rise up to it. If not, the best days are behind us if we don't learn our lesson from the last 3 years.
It's interesting. I have a slightly different take if I put my I'm paranoid hat on. So I think that at some point we started attacking the very idea of structure itself, which is how you end up getting into the gender conversation. And once you start, if it takes hold, and it's a very difficult argument to figure out how to be both compassionate and draw hard boundaries, you put lines and boundaries. And one thing we didn't talk about is you create rituals that create lines that I'm no longer a child, I'm now an adult, like really clear demarcation points instead of like, oh, transition effortlessly anytime from anything to anything. It's one of those ideas that sounds awesome and it sounds loving and it sounds caring, but the outcome of it is to tear at the infrastructure that holds the society up. And so it's pretty interesting. This is something that Douglas Murray, who I have not ever sat down with, but I'm very familiar with his work, he's talked a lot about. Camille LaPaglia has talked a lot about this, that in end stage empires, they become obsessed with pulling apart the structures of the society. And it tends to manifest as a conversation around the ultimate structure, which is male-female. So this is one of those, it's a positive feedback loop. And again, I'm just wearing my paranoid hat. I'm not betting against America. I love it. I want to be here. In fact, this is going to be weird. I can't believe I'm about to say something that's going to sound political. It is not meant to be political, but I want to fly an American flag. I want to remind people that this is a beautiful country and that it's worth fighting for, ideals of personal freedom, et cetera, et cetera. And that the way that we rebuild is by putting structure in place that has a metric associated with it so we can see whether we're moving in the right direction or not. That would be the thing. So anyway, this feels like a positive feedback loop. I don't have a clear picture on how at a societal level we unwind it, but I do understand it at the individual level and the things that we as an individual person can do. If you like that clip, check out another powerful clip right here, and I'll see you there.